The 1st of December, 1987.
Прогресс 33 доставил на борт комплекса в этот раз совершенно необычный груз. Это груз коммерческий. Вот в этом контейнере, имеющем такую вот эмблему «Класс Космос СССР». Вот срезали пломбы и открываем.
Yuri Romanenko, the space crew commander, tells that the cosmonauts received 1,000 commemorative covers and a hand stamp for the space cancellation. These covers arrived on board the Mir orbital station under the contract signed between Kurt Weishaupt and Company Incorporated and the Soviet Foreign Trade Agency Международная книга, which represented Главкосмос USSR.
С советскими организациями Международная книга при участии Главкосмоса. Здесь на борту мы произведем гашение этих конвертов, поставим штампы, а также поставим свои автографы. Затем эти конверты будут доставлены на Байконур.
Thus and so, philatelists decided to commemorate the 30th anniversary of the first Sputnik flight. How did American-made covers come to be on board the Soviet orbital station? First of all, they have been delivered from New York to Moscow. Exactly 30 years since the first Sputnik flight, commemorating this date, on the 4th of October 1987, the covers were cancelled at the Moscow General Post Office. Then their way was lying to the east. There, more than 2,000 kilometers away from Moscow, in Kazakhstan steppe, is situated the Baikonur launching site. A lot of famous events in history of space flights is connected with Baikonur. The first Sputnik was launched from Baikonur. Yuri Gagarin started from Baikonur. From Baikonur, the Soviet spacecraft Soyuz-19 lifted off for a rendezvous with Apollo. On the 21st of November 1987, the covers were cancelled at the post office of Baikonur. On that day, the Progress 33 unmanned cargo spacecraft was to lift off from Baikonur. It was to deliver payload and mail on board the Mir station. By that time, the station was in orbital operation for almost 2 years. The covers were accommodated in the Progress spacecraft.
Дальность 160, скорость 0,2. Угловые в пределах допуска.
On board the station, the cosmonauts prepared to meet the Progress. Ground facilities were monitoring its flight and approach to the orbital station.
По нашим данным.
Docking.
Касанием. Есть касанием.
The mail is delivered at the space address. At that time, Yuri Romanenko has already become famous by his outstanding long-term space mission. He managed to pass on orbit about a year, more than anybody else. On board engineer Alexander Alexandrov is also a spaceflight veteran. Look how thoroughly Romanenko and Alexandrov fulfilled their assignment of Glавkosmos. First of all, each cover is cancelled with a special commemorative board cancellation. Then, Romanenko puts his signature. And after him, Alexandrov signs the cover. Each of the 1,000 covers was treated in such a way. At the end of December, the newcomers were waited on board the station. The next crew arrived to be on space watch. At that time, the long-term mission of Romanenko and Alexandrov was in its final phase. On the 29th of December 1987, the retrieval vehicle of Soyuz TM-3 spacecraft landed in Kazakhstan steppe. In spite of all the fuss caused by this happy meeting, the assignment of Globkosmos was not forgotten. Under the terms of the contract, the final cancellation was to be done in the nearest to the landing zone post office. It turned to be the post office of Arkalyk Airport. The cancellation was applied in the presence of local authorities. On the New Year Eve, all the covers were delivered to Moscow. And as it was stipulated in the contract, these space covers were handed to the president of an American philatelic company, Mr. Weishaupt, in the residence of Globkosmos. At that moment, Mr. Weishaupt became the unique owner of 1,000 covers cancelled on Earth and in space to commemorate the 30th anniversary of the first Sputnik flight. On the reverse side of each cover situates certificate of authenticity signed by chairman of Globkosmos Dunaev.